importance of being careful of the thoughts and feelings that's on our minds, right? Because a lot of the times people have these thoughts and feelings, people have these subconscious awarenesses that's embedded and bubbles up as thoughts and feelings. And people don't really monitor what's going on within their mind. When you're not monitoring what's going on in your mind, when you're not looking at your thoughts and feelings and why you're thinking and feeling of those things, and you're not able to let them go, you have to be really careful because thoughts and feelings are getting ready to become real things, meaning that a lot of the behaviors, habits, a lot of the things that we do externally in the outer world is going to be a result of, a frequency of vibration that we have felt and felt with our mind first, right? And a lot of times there's a lot of thoughts and feelings that are, of a self-defeating natures, things that don't really assist us, things that are not really taking us in a space of prosperity, or things that are not taking us in a space of abundance. A lot of these thoughts and feelings that we have in our mind can be coming from a low vibrational space, can be coming from a space that is not assisting move forward. So, we have to have some grace, and we have to have some ability to redirect our awareness towards a space that is more for us, where a lot of the times it just simply requires us to be in a space of clarity, where we're not necessarily thinking and feeling before we're approaching the things that we want to approach, right? Because a lot of the times there are certain things that we see other people do, there are certain things that we see other people be. Some people are artists, some people are musicians, some people become leaders of countries, etc. But a lot of the times we may not allow ourselves to jump into those things just based upon the state of being that we are in. And if you're not monitoring your state of being, you have to focus. Your state of being is exactly what you beam out into the outer world, because thoughts and feelings are contagious, right? Thoughts and feelings have vibrations and frequencies. If you're not careful of the thoughts and feelings that you're feeling, you're going to be emanating some form of frequency out into the world, and you're going to be sending a message about yourself. But this is vibrational marketing, this is vibrational branding, where you're essentially branding yourself with an energy and frequency. And if you're not careful of the nature of that energy and frequency, you're going to start playing out those bits and habits. So a lot of people easily yield to others. For example, it could be just as something as simple as, not getting the time off that you want at your job, or not getting a certain vacation date. It's because people are yielding too quickly, simply because internally they're in a space of being self-defeated. And so when you're in this internal space of being seated, you're going to generate whatever that state of being is. Let's just use self-defeat as an example. If you're in a state of being self-defeated, carrying these feelings of fear, feelings of worry. A lot of the times people think and feel like, whatever they're doing in life is not going to work. And if you're in that space, then you can't help but observe your mind, you know, watch your mind bubble up thoughts and feelings to the surface that are of that nature, but it all really starts within. So if someone is internally in the state of being self-defeat, being worried, feeling like they're not good enough, then that's going to be the reality that they're going to generate, simply because that's the state of being. So whatever state of being someone is in, that's going to be a vibration frequency that they out with them out into the world. It's going to start as a thought and a feeling that is going to render itself into the 3D, into the outer world, through their behaviors and habits, just via behaviors and stuff like that. So that's the thing. Everything starts with a thought and a feeling. And so if we're not monitoring our thoughts and feelings, that means we're not monitoring the true starting point of how we create our reality, because reality is not physical. Reality is mental first, meaning that reality starts in the static realm of thought and feeling before it manifests into the external world. And a lot of times, many people come from these negative backgrounds, come from these negative experiences, and they subconsciously are in this cycle of this defeat, this worry, this fear, this self-hatred. And a lot of the times a person need to go through the process of, letting go letting go of a lot of these forms of awarenesses, thoughts and feelings, things that are subconsciously embedded inside of their subconscious, that's not allowing them to actually move forward in a way that's actually healthy for them. That's why a lot of people don't necessarily chase their dreams, chase their goals, because internally themselves, they're already self-defeated. They already feel like they're not good enough. And so if a person is in a state of being, if a person hasn't healed their inner child, if a person is still wounded, they're going to be able to easily and effortlessly go after their goals, because we biologically breathe in effortlessly and easily. It's not hard for me to now. So it shouldn't be hard for me to go after my goals. It shouldn't be hard for me to chase my dream, because it should be effortless and easy. But a lot of the times we're indoctrinated into this life of struggle, meaning that we turn into a struggle and we create a reality of struggling. because that's connected with internally. That's why it's really important to watch out for what's on your mind. And if you're looking at what's on your mind as a shape and a form, a thought or a feeling, you gotta understand that that thought, that feeling bubbled up from a subconscious reality that is embedded inside of your mind and body. That's why a lot of the times your nervous system remembers the things that has been done to you, whether it's some things that are reverbed or things that were physically done to you. A lot of these things are still embedded in you, so you have to let things out and let these things move out of your body, right? A lot of the times, people move out of their house, move out of their apartment, only to bring with them their same state of being, their same state of mind. But you really gotta move out of your mind, move out of that space that you are in. So when you move into that new apartment, when you into that new circumstance, when you move into that new situation, you're no longer bringing the mind, the mentality that created the same problem, right? So that's the thing. Like one example was, when we moved into this house, this new house that my dad bought and shit like that. My dad was like, you know what, man, this is going to be a new chance for the family to connect and, be a stronger family unit than ever. But, I sat back and I was thinking like, Dad, you know what, man, that's wrong, because the problem didn't start with being in a particular house or being in a particular apartment. It started with the mind, because the same mind that created the previous problem cannot create the solutions. So, it's very interesting to me how people think that the outer world is the problem, the physical nature of the people, places, and things around them is the problem, their friends is the problem. No one stops to look at themselves like, hey, wait a second, let me be accountable. Let me look in the mirror. Maybe I'm the problem, because at the end of the day, you can't agree to something outside of you unless you've accepted it first inside of you and shit like that, right? Like you can't go to the candy store and betray your diet unless you had a thought and a feeling that redirected your mind towards that trajectory, right? So we have to be able to observe trajectory and forecast where are these things going and shit like, right? So if a person is self-defeated internally, of course they're gonna create some self-defeating outward behaviors and stuff like that. And a lot of the times it just takes this person to go within, because a lot of the times if you just look at the information in your voice, because when you speak, you're speaking vibrations, frequencies, and there's a particular sound within your frequency, and it could be one of fear, it could be one of doubt, it could be one of worry. And so you are literally breathing out what you are, who you are. So your state of being, you're literally bringing it forward into the world. And what you're bringing forward into the world, you have to really look at your internal world, because that's the first one, really. So you have to look at your internal world, your internal galaxy, and be like, you know what, man? You know what? I don't like this thought. I don't like this feeling. Let me remove this. Slow process. It's not like taking off your shirt and, putting on a new shirt. It takes time, because you got to put in the time and the energy work. Because if you spend time in an environment that was toxic for you, that's toxic. So it's going to create a toxic and mental environment, and you're going to create a toxic literally. So now you got to create an internal environment that's healthy, or just by simply letting go of these things and not spending time in these thoughts and feelings, these awareness. A lot of the times people jump into their past memories, past situations, and reanimate what was dead and gone and bring it back into the presence. And they re-experience, relive that old reality, their current present moment, but their current present moment may not have anything to have with that situation, right? So a lot of people that come from a traumatized background, everything might look normal in the present moment. Everything is good, everything is hooray, but they're still in that same mind. They're still re-experiencing, recreating those same old experiences, summoning these old memories with their mind, reintroducing that same reality over and over, right? So sometimes you can date a girl, but what I'm saying, if she comes from a traumatized background, she's gonna, bring that stuff from the past. You might be the best dude ever, but just due to her being in that space of awareness, you're gonna be able to see you for who you are. A lot of the times we don't see what's right in front of us. There might be a tree full of apples, opportunities, wonderful things right before, because we're in that space of state of being, it's gonna go right away from us. We're not going to be able to see it. We're not going to be able to witness it, right? Because we're operating from our own internal bias system, because we already have a bias. We've already blinded ourselves. I like how the Bible says it, you know, like Lucifer of the minds of many, where like, you know, Lucifer is the light of the mind, the awareness. So whatever awareness we're stuck into, that becomes the reality that we operate from. Not observing the reality, the awareness you're operating from, you're forever going to be stuck in a cycle of recreating the same reality and stuff like that, right? So, you know, that's why it's really, really important to take a look at yourself inwardly and really see why creating thoughts and feelings like this. What subconsciously embedded awareness are these bubbling up from? And you know what? If I don't like those experiences, let me get rid of those thoughts and feelings, because you and I know that the first reality is not the physical reality. So we all know here that we create a reality with our mind. And so if we know creating our reality with our mind, let us first explore this mind and let us make this mind our own, rather than letting it fucking wild, letting these trains of thoughts go crazy to the point that you're creating situations and circumstances that are not actually correlated with your ideal life and shit like that, right? Yeah, man, that's so it's really crazy, man. So look within yourself, see within yourself, because that's the first reality. And when you deal with that internal reality, I have no doubt in my mind, no doubt in my heart that the external reality will certainly favor you, because you will favor yourself internally first. With that being said, everybody, this is a little morning show for y'all, you know, and I'm gonna get back into some drawing and shit. And, you know, I'm gonna see y'all when I see you. Peace out.